want to talk a little bit about CineEI because I was a Canon shooter, and switching to Sony and having to use, or choosing to use, I guess, CineEI was a bit of an adjustment. I didn't understand it. I couldn't really wrap my head around CineEI and why it was designed the way it was. I was used to shooting on my C300 and adjusting exposure primarily with ISO. I would set my aperture where it needed to be, and I'd adjust with ISO. And the C300 handled a variety of ISOs really well. And so it was a quick, easy way to adjust exposure. However, CineEI is not designed that way. It's designed to shoot at the base ISO. And I first encountered that on the FS7, and it really kind of threw me because I was like, there's one base ISO on the FS7. How am I going to adjust properly? I don't want to use aperture. And it was a little limiting with the FS7, but with the introduction of variable ND on the FX9, and more importantly, dual base ISO on the FX9. The base ISO in S-Log3 for the FX9 is 800 and 4000. And you can set it at 800, and if you need to jump to 4000, you jump to 4000, it might be overexposed, so you just adjust that exposure with variable ND. It took me a while, but I've gotten used to it now, and I actually really like it because you really should be shooting at the base ISO. It's the cleanest ISO to shoot at, so that's what Sony's basically saying with CineEI. They're saying, don't shoot at anything but the base ISO. And you might say, aha, well, you can change the gain or the ISO here. Change it to whatever preset that you set it to. Or you can just press the ISO button and change it with the D-pad. But it's not actually changing what is being written to the card. It's basically, think of it as a monitor LUT. It's increasing or decreasing the exposure in monitor. And just so I guess so you can see how it might be in post if you were to grade it and, correct the exposure. I always leave it at low, which is set to 800, the base ISO. I've also got custom button 2 set to base ISO, or switching between the base ISOs of 800 and 4000, so I can quickly boost the exposure or lower it if I need to, and adjust with variable ND from there. And then if I really need to, I can adjust with aperture. And it's worked out really well. It's just a mindset shift. It was kind of tough for me, just because I was constantly using ISO to adjust exposure. And there were a number of times with the C300 that it did get me into trouble. My footage got a little bit noisy, not terrible, but this theoretically locks you into ISOs where your image is going to be as clean as possible. In my opinion, that's the biggest thing you need to understand about CineEI if you're switching to a Sony system where you're starting to use CineEI, or maybe you have an FX3 and you upgraded the firmware that has CineEI now. You got to adjust with ND. You just have to. And probably that's what you should be doing anyway. That's it. I'll see you in the next one.